Hey, good morning. It is July 17th, and I seem to be in sync with, is it Regis and Cap? No, it's not Regis anymore. It's, oh, Michael Strahan and Kel. Okay, all right. I really think that I should have been, I should have replaced Regis. I really think, I think that was if the dice had tumbled a different way in life, that would have been my thing. Just you'd wake up in the morning and I go, "So, how's your day today?" Well, then I just whip out the newspaper and start reading the headlines and whatnot. But that did not happen, obviously. So instead, basically, these things just turned into exercises of me talking to myself. So that's fine with me. But I've talked to myself my whole life, so this is really not much of an extension of that, other than that it's being recorded and it goes into the time capsule, which is the ultimate goal of all these things. And I know beating a dead horse to say what the mission statement of all this stuff is, not for anything to go viral, other than my bronchial pneumonia, but just to have a visual as well as a kind of a um, uh, what's the phrase? Just something of this kind of this generation that will be of some type of use to my future, not offspring, because I'm not I'll rather die in a grease fire than have any kids, but the future generations of this clan, and then they can look back at and get kind of kind of a glimpse of what was going on during the time period. Because I would, like I've said before, I would love to have some of this type of thing to kind of get a feel for what was going on. Say like 30 years ago or whatever. And I know somebody will get some use out of it. Nobody gives a crap now, but and maybe, and if they don't, they don't. But and that's why I'm doing these things, because nobody in the moment. I think the most hits I got was maybe for the Ramones thing and some of the Fitbit stuff. I think they got about 500 hits, but I think that's just because of the titles. I don't know what some of the things I think really deserve to be seen, but especially the Julie Child thing. I thought that was kind of funny, but for the most part, I haven't seen. I make sure that they work and that they end, and I'm not really bent on seeing the whole thing, because my deal would be that if I've done it, I don't have to see it rehashed. So, it's like with Johnny Depp, you don't watch his own movies. So why, if it's, why, if Johnny Depp ain't watching his own movies at all, why should I be watching my little thing? So it'd be a little bit, I don't know, whatever. All right, enough of that nonsense. I wanted to talk about Facebook, and I know I had talked about how I came into it, really kind of probably later than most people. I had always assumed that Facebook was just a thing college kids did, and you had to. I don't know. I did, to be honest, I had never given it much thought. All I had was a little flip phone. I didn't even have that till about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I'm trying to figure out the timeline, because I resisted having a cell phone like the play. I didn't want to have a phone because I didn't want to be able to be tracked down. I wanted to be able to do my own thing, and I wanted to be able to get in touch with people. When I was good and ready to get in touch with people, and that was my attitude with the whole cell phone generation. But I slowly came around, and like I said, I know I've mentioned before, I had seen that the movie, the Social Network, I think with my brother, and I got a little intrigued by Facebook, and you know, um, I was like, oh wow, anybody can sign up for it, so I did, and then I got all, immediately I got bombarded with requests from like all these people that I knew from like 20, 25 years ago. I was like, oh wow, okay, and this guy and that guy and that guy, oh I remember them, and I partied with that one, and this one's a nut, and that one's crazy, but that was like 20 years ago. And then I realized if they are still crazy, they are keeping that to themselves as far as communicating with people. I mean, I thought people like I would send instant messages to people that he's just like nothing really tangible would come back, or one or two words, like my family does with texting. Nothing really offered as far as any sort of deep thoughts or anything, which is frustrating. But like my girlfriend and I will just go on and on and on about things, and that's how we really got to know each other really well. Was that we really gave, maybe a little bit too much info about ourselves before we even met, and but that was a good way of going about it, because by the time we met, it was almost like we were like old souls, and you know um, if you're gonna have to meet somebody, I think it's better than meeting somebody in a bar when your first impression of them isn't even the real impression, because it's like Chris Rock says, if you meet anybody in a club or a bar, you're not meeting them, you're meeting their representative. So we had met as friends, and we just talked about everything that had transpired in our lives up, I think, till that point. Mostly I don't know. I don't know if we really talked like that. I think but we have since, been 2 years now. So it's great to have somebody like that in your life that you can tell anything to. And I never had that with anybody. I think I had with her after 2 weeks. She knew more about me than my ex-girlfriend knew about me in like the 7 years that we were together. So that was that was that whole thing. But yeah, so back to what my point was, that saying that it was very frustrating, because I thought the way it was set up was that everybody kind of, there was a lot more give and take, and if there is, well, I'm not seeing it. Maybe maybe I'm blocked. I don't know. Who knows? But so the way I envisioned, I said, well, because others are doing what you know. Um, the way I want it to be, well, maybe I can turn it into the way I want it to be on my own ends, and F what everybody else is doing. And that would be to like kind of try to do things that were a little bit more, creative, things that well, not so much being creative, but just like I saw that I could create groups, and I love sports, music, and comedy, like everybody does, and hey, I can do these little things, and give some people, like, if it makes me laugh, it'll make somebody else laugh. And after a while, eventually I got rid of most of the friends that I did have as friends, because they weren't offering me anything. So why would I be offering myself and put myself out there if they weren't putting themselves out there? you know um, you know so I just basically just, I mean, I do have a few people that I know, but I think I just keep them around so they'll pass the word that I'm still alive. To this generation. But I mean, to this generation, to the people that whatever they thought. But even the ones, and I won't mention names, but if people that know me know who I'm talking, it's like the people that do put themselves out there or whatever, they're promoting something. It's always like some sort of like hidden agenda, like come to this or come to that. It's always like a money grab. And I've never been about that. Even through my darkest, I never wanted a dime from anybody. I just want to. I don't think. I don't want my legacy on this world to be that I was trying to get a penny out of anybody. I want to leave the world the way I came in, penniless and naked. And I know I'll have the naked down pat. I know actually I'll have the penniless down pat. Although probably have to whip, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So I said, you know what? Well, I'm gonna, give a glimpse of myself, and if I can, make a stranger's day or whatever, give them a little bit of a laugh. And that's the great thing I think about the internet, that I have this kind of reach all over, I guess, all over the world. I look at like the friends that I still do have, and the reach that this thing has. and between this and the YouTube, and if somebody's watching the Julia Child video over in Zimbabwe and getting a chuckle out of it, well, then that made a stranger laugh or whatever, and that's kind of cool, or even like the memes or whatever. I mean, I think that's what we, ultimately are supposed to be here in the world, to help people, and and all that stuff. So yeah, so that's what it is. And then I started a new group today with quotes. I think quotes is really going to take off and go viral, like herpes. But that's not the objective. Again, with these little things, again, will be like a thing where, hopefully, when I'm dead and buried, whatever, whenever that'll be, that they'll be like, oh, he liked this or he liked that or whatever, gives kind of some indication of what my psyche was like. And I think I throw a lot more of my psyche than 99.9% of the Facebook world, and I like that. I like to be about as open a book as possible without divulging everything, because I don't think anybody needs to know every little thing about me. But I let you know on a need to know basis, and right now you don't really need to know that much, because I don't know you. So you throw something back at me other than you know tour dates or whatever. you know, or come to my show. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's all like a one-way street. All right, I'm done. As usual, adios.